going on? Shane here, and today we are test riding the Nidecker Sensor Team in collaboration with Snowboard Magazine. We're up here at Snowmass. We're going to be ripping it in the park and seeing exactly how it feels, to let you guys know who it's for and what the deal is. Let's get into it. Okay, so before we get into riding this bad boy, you should know that I am 6 foot tall, 155 pounds for reference. Got a size 9 boot, and we're riding the Sensor Team in a 153 today. This is gonna be a true twin shape, which means it's totally freestyle oriented, which is why we're riding it in the park today. With that, it gives a skatey feel, so really trickable, whether you're buttering across the mountain or hitting rails in the park, hitting jumps, it wants to be in that freestyle spirit. So with the true twin shape, we're gonna have a camber profile throughout the Sensor Team. And then in the tips, we will have some pop carbon additives, which are stringers running in the tip and tail just up to the inserts. That's gonna give a little extra snap, a little extra pop for when you're ollieing signs and just popping around everywhere. We will see Nidecker's absorbent top sheet throughout this board, which just helps with some dampening properties to give for that nice, easygoing ride. On the underside, we've got Nidecker's N7000 base, which is a centruded base. Basically, the way you can think of it is it's similar to an extruded base, but a little more premium, a little more durable, which will last a little bit better when you're bashing it against rails and any other features in the park. So that's the meat and potatoes of this board right here. But let's go ride it, see how it all feels, and rip it around the whole mountain. Let's get it.
That really set the Sensor Team on its own unique ride is the width, which I would categorize as a mid-wide. On the 153, you get a 256 millimeter waist width, which is what I'm more used to riding in sizes much bigger, like in a 158. But because of this mid-wide width, you get to ride this board a little shorter, which is why I was able to have a really fun time riding this 153. In fact, it's been a really long time since I've ridden a board this small, as I'm typically riding boards in the 157 to 160 range, whether it's in the park or all mountain riding. Because I was able to ride this board much shorter than I normally ride any board, it gave me a different feel for the ride of a board in this size, which gave me a slightly softer flex and an overall more skatey feel, having less length under my feet. That translated to an extra jibby ride for me with this board. I was able to put the board where I wanted on a dime, whether I was jibbing around on the flats in the snow or messing around on the rails. I'm a skateboarder by heart, so having this feeling on a board was super fun, especially on the rails, getting to press it as much as I wanted in this smaller ride. This board does come in a 156 and a 159, so knowing I could ride such a wide range of sizes for this board, between a 153 and a 159, makes this a little extra special, depending on how I'd want the board to ride for what I was looking to ride. Typically, when I think of jibby rides, I think of boards that are softer and maybe a little less stable, but because of this extra mid-width, I felt like I had a super solid, stable platform that never felt squirrely for me. This made it really fun hitting the jumps and also picking up some more speed riding across the whole mountain. Furthermore, the width made it pretty fun to carve. This is a true twin, so it's not made specifically for carving, but I was able to get pretty high up on my edge because I had that little more room between my toes and heels. The combination in the feel of the overall flex with the torsional flex and the specs of the width made it a great feeling ride that wasn't too much at any point or too little. This board felt like it was in a flex that was right in the middle of the road for me, although because I was riding a much smaller board, it was going to feel softer than other boards I ride. Regardless, it was super fun to butter in the flats. I was able to press it how I wanted it. And like I said, it gave that extra jibby feel to butters and any little tricks I was messing around with. I was surprised with how much snap this board gave me with how soft of a flex it was for me. And I was able to ollie some high signs, and the flex didn't hold back the snap for me at all. Overall, it was a super fun flex that allowed me to butter however I wanted to. It never felt too soft where I was gonna slip out. It felt like it was that perfect mid-flex where I was able to hold my presses the way I wanted to, and it just made for a super fun, skatey feel. With the camber profile, the true twin shape, and that middle-of-the-road flex, the Sensor Team just feels like that classic freestyle ride that most people are looking for when they're trying to get into the park. I'd really classify this as an approachable and super predictable ride. Like I said, it does what you want when you want, doesn't really throw any surprises at you, and it's just a solid camber freestyle ride. This was actually my first time riding any Nidecker board, and I had no complaints. It got the job done where I needed it for bigger tricks in the rails and on jumps, and it was just super solid ripping around the resort, carving and buttering wherever I wanted to. The person who I would set up for this board is that rider who's either working on learning new tricks in the park that wants a cambered board without having too much aggression in a ride, as well as that person who likes a skatier, jibbier ride with some stability. And for that person, I would suggest downsizing maybe one size because of this mid-wide width. Riding this board today, it was getting warmer with that heavier spring slush. And if I was gonna hop on a smaller board like this, I'd be worried that I'd get tossed around and chewed up in that slush, but I felt really solid. So if you want a board that's stable, solid, maneuverable, presses well, has that snap, the Sensor Team is gonna be a great option to check out. Make sure to grab the latest edition of Snowboard Mag at your local snowboard shop, or find the latest in the link in the description. Thanks for watching and checking out the Nidecker Sensor Team, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.